Good morning. May I welcome you to the 39th meeting in 2020 of the Delegated Powers and Law Reform Committee. The first item of business is to propose that the committee take items 7 and 8 in private. Does the committee agree to take items 7 and 8 in private?
Agreed.
Thank you. The next item of business is consideration of an instrument which has been laid under the European Union Withdrawal Act 2018. The committee is considering if the appropriate scrutiny procedure and the appropriate category have been applied by the Scottish Government to SSI 2020-399, the Social Security Coordination EU Exit Scotland Amendments etc. Regulations 2020. This instrument repeals the EU regulations on social security coordination insofar as relating to devolved social security matters, with effect from the end of the transition period. It also amends 3 Scottish statutory instruments, removing references to EU legislation, which will no longer have effect in the UK, and makes provision to ensure continued access to the relevant benefits for persons protected under the withdrawal agreements. The instrument has been laid under the negative procedure and has been categorised by the Scottish Government as of low significance. Is the committee content that the appropriate scrutiny procedure has been applied to this instrument? Is the committee content that the instrument has been categorised properly as of low significance?
Content.
Thank you. Under agenda item 3, we are considering instruments subject to the made affirmative procedure. No points have been raised on SSIs 2020 415, 425 and 427. Is the committee content with these instruments?
Content.
Thank you. Under agenda item 4, we are considering instruments subject to the affirmative procedure. No points have been raised on draft instruments, the Victims and Witnesses Scotland Act 2014 Supplementary Provisions Order 2021, the Restitution Fund Scotland Order 2021, and the Provision of Early Learning and Childcare Specified Children Scotland Amendment Order 2020. Is the committee content with these instruments?
Content.
Under agenda item 5, we are considering instruments subject to the negative procedure. Drafting errors have been raised on 2 of these. The first is SSI 2020-398, the Official Feed and Food Controls Miscellaneous Amendments Scotland Regulations 2020. The issues identified are highlighted under the defective drafting reporting ground and the general reporting ground. 3 articles in 3 separate EU regulations have been specified in new Schedule 6 of the Official Feed and Food Controls Scotland Regulations 29 in error. They do not contain obligations giving rise to criminal offences. Also, the definition of Directive 2004-41 has been omitted from 2009 SSI, but the directive is still referred to in the 5th and 10th definitions in the new Schedule 1 of the 2009 SSI. Finally, EU Regulation 2015-1375 is also referred to in error in the 10th definition in new Schedule 1 of the 2009 SSI. Full details of these errors can be read in the correspondence between the committee and the Scottish Government, which are included in our published papers for this meeting. The Scottish Government has confirmed it will correct these matters before the instrument comes into force. While noting the Scottish Government will remedy these errors before the instrument comes into force, does the committee wish to draw this instrument to the attention of the Parliament under reporting ground I in respect of the first of these errors and the general reporting ground in respect of the other 2? Thank you. The Scottish Government has also confirmed that Regulation 4.8 amends Regulation 32.2 of SSI 2009-446 in fulfilment of an earlier commitment made to the committee. Does the committee also wish to welcome the Scottish Government's fulfilment of this commitment? Thank you. The second instrument with a drafting error is SSI 2020-399, the Social Security Coordination EU Exit Scotland Amendments etc. Regulations 2020, SSI 2020-399. Issues have been raised under 2 separate reporting grounds. Firstly, under reporting ground J, the instrument has breached the 28-day rule, albeit only by 1 day. The Scottish Government has written to the presiding officer to explain why the 28-day rule has not been complied with. Secondly, under the general reporting ground, the Scottish Government has acknowledged that provision ought to have been made in the instrument to omit Regulation 9.4 of the Funeral Expense Assistance Scotland Regulations 2019 as a consequence of other amendments made in the instrument. The Scottish Government has undertaken to bring forward amending regulations to omit that provision at the earliest opportunity. While noting that the Scottish Government has undertaken to bring forward amending regulations at the earliest opportunity, does the committee wish to draw the instrument to the attention of the Parliament on the general reporting ground? Yes. Thank you. And does the committee agree to draw the instrument to the attention of the Parliament under a reporting ground J, while noting that it is satisfied with the explanation given for the failure to comply with the 28-day rule? Yes. Good. Thank you. Finally, under this agenda item, no points have been raised on SSIs 2020 406, 408, 409, 413, 414 and 416. Is the committee content with these instruments? Content. Thank you. Under agenda item 6, we are considering instruments not subject to any parliamentary procedure. No points have been raised on SSIs 2020 405, 407, 410, 412 and 417. Is the committee content with these instruments? Content. Thank you. I now move the meeting into private.